So I wanted to share with you something different from Vimenti, but a dear friend of mine, Josh Smith, has a project that is doing good for kids in Texas that need help, an underserved community, but at the same time, it's a very, very profitable opportunity. These kind of opportunities are kind of my favorite ones because they have such a great social impact, but at the same time, they're profitable businesses, which I think is super cool. And so I wanted Josh to share this with you now. So everyone, please welcome Josh Smith to the stage. All right.
So I gotta say, it's a little bit coming up here after Mike and that voice, like, doesn't feel quite right. So, y'all remember Dave Steck yesterday, right?
Yep.
So, what was the first thing that Dave talked about in terms of the 3 tiers of prioritization? Make money, do good, and have fun. So, we're really focused on the first 2 elements here in making money and doing good. And the way we're doing it is through our Rock Care Fund. So the fund itself is a 506c, so it's for accredited investors. We're focusing on investing in mental health clinics in Texas called Texas Care Centers. Our objective is to create passive income for our investors, but also to do massive good in the communities that we're serving. So we've created the fund, 506c. The fund itself will own 49% of each of the clinics. Our management company owns the other 51%. But what we're doing and the why behind it is Texas ranks last in the nation in terms of access to mental health care. That's not really the one that you want to have on your placard, right? 97% of the counties in Texas have declared a mental health state of emergency. 22% of the kids in Texas have seriously thought about committing suicide in the last year. 2 out of 3 kids who have been diagnosed with depression aren't getting the treatment that they need because there's just a lack of resourcing. Now, the good news is there's not a lack of money. Texas actually allocated $11.6 billion to mental and behavioral health care for the next 2-year budget cycle. That's a 30% increase because they acknowledge that they have a problem, and it's our opportunity to come and provide a solution. So if we can address this, can we agree that we'd be doing good? Yeah? So in that space, in Texas, 3 out of every 8 kids are on the Medicaid platform. So over 40% of the kids are on Medicaid, and that's really our target market. That's kind of our target demographic that we're looking to partner with and that we're looking to support. And that's supporting them through everything, including might be working with them on ADHD, it might be anxiety, it might be depression, it might be life skills. And the how we do that is we've got a community-based program. So we've got staff that goes out into the community and works with the kids in their homes, in the schools, in the after-school programs. And why is that? Because that's a lot better and drives a lot more consistency versus having them try to come to our office, right? So we go out into the community, work with them there, we're building trust, we're creating consistent relationships, and we're helping them develop the skills that they need to be successful. Get them through school, get them into trade school, get them into college, get them into the military, but keep them out of the system is our objective. So when we talk about the model itself, on average, we're able to spend 2 to 4 hours per week with each one of these kids. So that's what Medicaid supports. But because the kids and these clients are on the Medicaid platform, it means that there's no out-of-pocket costs for them. But Medicaid reimburses us at a rate of $102 an hour. So our QMHPs are qualified mental health professionals. That's the individual who's doing kind of the day-to-day interaction with the kids. We're paying well above market rates, $28 to $35 an hour. But you can see the arbitrage opportunity there, right? So we've got very low overhead because most of the work is happening in the communities. Again, homes, schools, after-school programs. We don't have a lot of facility costs, and that's driving net profit margins of north of 40% in these clinics. So when we talk about the investment, and I'm not going to expect, and we're not going to walk through the spreadsheet. I'd love to do that with y'all in a meetup, one-on-one. But at the end of the day, our clinics become profitable generally in the first month, if not the second month. And we work with our investors in providing distributions on a monthly basis based on the net profits of the clinic. So I like to walk folks ultimately through these two models. The first one is our conservative model. And that's really saying that we're going to take the target model. We reduced it by 40%, which really this is based on just having 60 kids per clinic. So a $25,000 investment in the fund generates $109,000 in profit distributions, but we also believe that there's going to be an opportunity for an exit. So in the next 3 to 5 years, we'll have the opportunity for an exit, which will drive an additional $185,000 roughly, or creating a total of just shy of a 12x return. In our target model, same minimum $25,000. However, $25,000 minimum, but each one of the clinics, we're targeting $175,000 to open each clinic. So our goal in the fund is to raise $3.15 million, which will give us access to an additional 18 clinics that we'll be able to support these kids with. So in our target model, again, more profitable, we're targeting 100 kids per location that we'll be able to be supporting in this particular model. And then from a return perspective here, we're targeting a 20x return based on $188,000 in net profit distributions, as well as the return at exit that we'll be able to provide back to our investors. So what we can see is that we've got a really big opportunity here in terms of being able to help a whole lot of kids. We're going to make a big impact in the mental health of these communities and making sure we're able to change the life of a generation. And we're doing that with the team that you see here on the screen. Includes myself, Cynthia Santiago Bourbon is our clinician, and then of course you might know the guy on the left-hand side of the screen there. You're right, Daven Michaels, who's coming in and really partnering with us and helping to drive the voice and the messaging and the growth here with what we're doing. But what we really wanted to do is just kind of do this at a high level, but then the opportunity that we have now is to bring Daven and Andrew Shea, who is the CEO of Texas Care. We're just going to do a little bit of a conversation as well.
I love it. Awesome. Yeah, cool. You guys want to grab some seats? So I decided to get involved in this project. So I'm a GP on this project because it spoke to me. And it's really profitable. So, and it's a super simple model. We bill Medicaid, $102 an hour. Our counselors are receiving above average pay, about $35 an hour.
Yep.
And that's the arbitrage. I mean, it's super, I find that some of the best businesses are the ones that can be articulated in a sentence or two. Do you all understand how the business works? Yeah. Do you think this is great? Yeah. I think it's great and profitable as well. So it was, oh yeah, I have an extra mic for you guys too. Let me, there you go. All right, cool. Okay, so it was cool. So Andrew created the franchise. He's the franchisor. Our fund will be is the franchisee. So we reached out to Andrew as a franchisor and said, hey, could you come out on the cruise? Certainly not anything that he'd have to do, and he gladly accepted. And so it's just been great to have you here. We've got a chance to spend some time together. It's going to be a great week.
Well, unlike everybody else that shared the stage, I don't know Daven for 15 years.
Right.
In fact, we met about 15 days ago. Okay.
That's right. Yep.
But I will say this, just the short period of time that I've been able to spend with you and your family and the hospitality that you've shown, I really am honored to share a stage with you, and I look
too.
forward to the next 15 and 30 years.
Yeah,
of
that sounds
friendship
great.
together.
That sounds great.
I
Yeah,
look
no,
forward to
it's
that.
been super awesome. Yeah, cool. Thank you guys. Awesome. Thank you.
Well,
Yeah.
one of the things I really do want to acknowledge is that there's no way to sugarcoat anything in terms of what Josh just said. We have a mental health problem back home, right? Texas, unfortunately, as affluent as we are, I'm afraid and ashamed to say that we rank dead last when it comes to mental health accessibility, right? And with that, with the allocation of more funds, because the government has really acknowledged this problem, is tackling it head on, because that created us a perfect storm of opportunity in order to take advantage of this. In fact, when we started this franchise opportunity with the founders of Texas Care, we started this model 12 months ago, and currently right now we're at 108 clinics. 9 more has committed this month alone. We are the fastest growing mental health franchise in the entire country. Now, with that said and done, it really does create an opportunity. Like we mentioned, Josh went through some of the spreadsheets really quick. I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about the vision and what we're doing moving forward, not only in terms of helping kids, but in terms of creating a solid brand. Because my mission and my goal is to dot these throughout the state of Texas, right? So whenever a social worker, whenever a truancy officer, whenever a CPS agent picks up the phone, we're the only number that they need to call. So.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So how did this come to pass?
Well, it came to pass, the owner of Texas Care, or the founders of Texas Care, they have over 40 years of experience in this field. And what makes our programs that much more effective is that they both come from very troubled past, right? In fact, one of the founders, she actually went through the entire foster care system where, unfortunately, she was abused along the way. So she understands firsthand, the sympathy and the empathy to take, to design programs that are not only effective, but really, really works. And that thing, I truly believe it is our training that sets us apart from everybody else.
I love it. So Josh, what's our goal with the Rock Fund? How many units? How many states? How many?
Absolutely.
What type of impact? How many lives?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with the Rock Fund, I mentioned we're looking to raise for an additional 18 locations. So that'll give us a total of 20 starting out. But when you look at
So our first phase, 3.1.
3.15 million.
Yeah.
Yep. And in terms of the impact, though, so on average, we'll be able to touch the lives of around 200 kids per year per location. So that's 4,000 kids that we'd be able to help support on an annual basis. And, that's just the impact that we're going to be able to have, or that, hopefully collectively we are going to be able to have on a generation of kids who right now are struggling. And it's an opportunity up for us to have a significant impact in their lives.
Yeah. Andrew.
Yeah. So what Josh and Daven has created is an opportunity for you guys to invest in one of these clinics as a passive investor, right? Out of all of the franchisees we have, Josh and his beautiful wife, Jamie, over there, they're probably one of our best operators, right? This man is extremely thorough, annoyingly so.
He comes out of the corporate world. Yeah.
So, but you guys are in really, really good hands in terms of them operating your investments. And one of the things I really do want to have you guys take away, and this is what I tell every single franchisee, right, is the work that we do in this stage of these kids' lives, especially in the type of communities that they are in, right? The difference may be between going to college and going to jail. And one of the things that I want every single investor and every single franchisee to take away with them is that, and you'll never get credit for this, but know that, right? The work that we do, how many Columbines will we prevent? How many suicides are we able to prevent?
Yeah.
And then how many kids are we able to change their lives from going to college or going to the military or ending up in jail? And this is one of the things that the state of Texas has really, and I really appreciate what they do, is that they took a look at what it is going to cost in the future. And they chose to earmark billions of dollars, right? Because at the end of the day, they rather invest in these kids, right? And basically influence them now than spend money incarcerating them later on in the future.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely. Josh, I've found that there is no substitution for boots on the ground. Now, you and Jamie are neighbors of mine in Puerto Rico, but you're heading out to Texas.
We are. So
You're relocating.
Yep. When we get back to Puerto Rico again on the cruise, we'll be in town for about 2 weeks, and then we're relocating to San Antonio, where that's kind of the first target that we've got in terms of where we're launching the locations. Yeah. So, again, from the perspective of boots on the ground, or really, being able to operate, to us, it's important to make sure that, we've got our arms around this, and we make sure that, we're successful for our investors, as well as making sure that we're delivering for the kids and integrating into the communities that we're serving.
Fantastic. Who might have an interest in helping us in this mission? Great. I see a lot of hands up. So I want to close this loop for a second. So you remember I told you that I had earmarked a few $100K to send 10 of you to BA. And by the way, when you're in BA, I'm going to be on your board of advisors for the next year. That's pretty cool, right? Yeah. And you know what else is cool? I mean, there are some amazing, incredible people here doing unbelievable things. That's what makes the San Juan Social Club so great. So this is selfish for me as well, because you're all going to end up on my board of advisors too, which I think is super, super cool. So what's the scoop? For any of you that decide to come take this ride with us, invest at least $100K, I will pay for your first year of board of advisors. Does that sound cool? That's pretty awesome. Okay, so I've got 10 of them. You can talk to these fine gentlemen for the rest of the week. If you want to get involved with us, I would love to take that ride with you. They're going to be doing a special meetup as well later in the week. You know what I think would be kind of cool though too? Why don't we do meetings, if we can get them scheduled up, in my suite. So I have the biggest balcony of the ship. It's huge. It holds about 20 people, and we could just do meetings in there. You want to do that? I just had that idea right now.
Thank you for your generosity.
That'd be cool, right?
That's amazing.
That'll be super fun. So you just want to come see my cool suite? Come have a meeting with these guys.
Hang out in Daven's room.
We got a nice bar in there and everything. It'll be great.
And one more thing that I will add, guys, is as we launch all of these centers throughout the state of Texas, and we're on pace to hit 300 centers by the end of this year. The biggest thing about building this brand is that the moment we add something new, like substance abuse, with those many centers, overnight we will become the largest substance abuse centers in the entire state of Texas. And we are looking at other states.
That'll be awesome. I can't wait to come back here next year and tell you all about how all that's going. That'll be fantastic. Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate it. Thanks for being up here.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, amigo. All right.